right. Today we're here with Jason Shooten. I actually don't know how to say her last name.
Quite all right. It's
Shoot.
been mispronounced my whole life. Schoonover.
Oh, like
Like
scoot over.
yeah, like scoot over, or like a sailboat schooner, or I don't know, whatever. But I'll respond to Schoonover. I've been called crazier mispronunciations.
Oh man. Yeah. So we met online and then we met in person for the first time.
Yes.
What was that? A week ago at Heroes.
I
Two
think it's
weeks.
going on 2 weeks now, man. Time is flying.
Yeah. Right. I'm like
This
my
Saturday
head's
it'd be
melting.
2 weeks ago.
God. Did you get the post con hangover? Where you're just like at that
Um,
high of talking and meeting people and talking about things you care about, such as art and comics, and then you
mhm.
leave, and then it's just like this weird like hangover withdrawal feeling where you're like, I'm sad.
Yeah, I mean a little bit. And it's mostly just because I mean I don't know. You're a little bit older than me, so you might be able to verify
Thanks.
or contra not that much older. I mean, it's not like a grandpa or nothing,
Yeah, that's
but like
Frank. He's not here.
I've found that like making friends as an adult is like very hard, because it's like you only see people at work and shit, and that's kind of your peer group that you're given.
Yeah.
Um, so, and then I also think I just do better kind of like in isolation. And then every now and again, I'm like, oh yeah, I should probably like crawl out of my cave and, you know, be nice to people or hand them things or whatever, show my face somewhere.
I mean, I've only left my house to go to the barber shop, pick up my kids from school, and to go to the pharmacy and pick up prescriptions. But
Yeah.
I've been at home for like a year, and everybody asks my wife, they're like, "Is he okay? Does he?" That would be terrible because I couldn't go anywhere outside. Like I could just walk around my house for about three
Yeah. Get a little
months.
vitamin D
I,
or
yeah, I had
something.
like this big old neck collar on after the surgery, and I was just like kind of shuffling around my house, and
Oh
uh,
man.
and everybody was like, "Is he good?" And Lisa was like, "He doesn't have to see anybody. He's fine. He's having a great time."
Yeah. He's enjoying himself. He's thriving is what he's doing.
Yeah, I'm 30, flirty, and thriving.
That's me. Yeah. What is that? Jenna, not Jenna McCarthy. That's the wrong Jenna.
It's 13 going on 30.
Yeah, but I can't remember the actress's name. She was married to It's Jenna something, right?
Oh my God. What is it?
Now I'm gonna look it up. I think it's Jenna something. She played Elektra.
Yeah, yeah, Jennifer.
It's Jennifer something. Let me hold on, pull up IMDb right now. Jennifer Garner.
There
Man,
you
I was
go.
way off. Jenny McCarthy. That's like
That's the singled
Playboy
out lady.
Bunny. Wasn't she a Playboy Bunny though at some point?
Yeah, she was like the it girl for a
Like the
while.
90s, I think, like the mid 90s or something. And then she got like all when I worked at Blockbuster, she was in her comedy movie era. There was like the year and a half stint I worked there, she had like three direct to video comedies. They were pretty fucking awful. I used one of my free rentals to watch one. I can't remember
I
which
couldn't
one.
imagine
Now,
like,
now I got to know.
oh my God.
Jenny McCarthy. I could tell you which one it. Oh, she's a Wahlberg now. Jenny McCarthy Wahlberg, according to IMDb.
Yeah, she's, I think, maybe Donnie Wahlberg.
That would make sense. I feel like Marky Mark. Dirty Love. That's the movie I saw. Let me see what this is about.
Oh,
Oh, she's been in like all. She was in Basketball. I don't remember that. I haven't seen Basketball in like a decade though.
yeah, I couldn't tell you if she was in it or not.
Anyway, but yeah, post-con hangover. Yeah, I mean, I think a little bit, but I think my natural tendency is like these short bursts of like interacting with people, and then at home, I I kind of putz about all day and work on stuff here and there, um, and then this summer I've been teaching like summer camp classes, and then I got two kids at home, so I'm like absolute like kid maxing, so it kind of breaks my brain a little bit after a while. So I think I just kind of exist in like a state of like somebody constantly needs something from me, and I'm like, all right, what can I do to put out the fire kind of thing. So
Oh, yeah.
yeah, it ebbs and flows.
So you just have
But
so much going on that like you're like, I didn't have time to be have a con hangover.
Yeah. This summer has been crazy because after Heroes Con, I had like literally just this past weekend, I was in Augusta, Georgia for the Augusta Anime Fest. So like I immediately had to come home and kind of prep for that. And then this weekend, I'm going to be in Athens, Georgia for the Athens Book Fair. And then I start back at the summer camp in a couple of weeks. So I'll have like a nice little time to kind of, all right, now I can get some work on Country Cat a little bit. I haven't fucking touched that since, before Heroes Con. Um, and might have some like private tutoring clients. We'll see how that goes. I'm still like in the negotiation, like, all right, well, let's meet and do the stuff. And it's just, balls in their court kind of thing.
When you meet these people, do you show up full suit and tie, or
No, I dress
tuxedo
exactly
shirt?
like this. I dress exactly like this. Though I am wearing gym shorts now because I went to the gym this morning. I go to the community center with all the old folks, and I
Nice.
work out with them.
It's like
And
cocoon.
I just haven't changed or showered. I was printing all these Alpha Online covers
Oh,
here, screen printing them all. So just I'm like, I don't know. I feel like I always have to like keep myself busy with something, even if it's just spinning my wheels a little bit.
yeah. You got to run from the
Um,
demons that are deep inside of you that you're trying to
yeah, I mean,
suppress since
well,
you were a kid.
I just remember my dad being like, you should always have a project. You should always be doing something. What are you doing sitting watching TV when the fucking lawn needs to be mowed? Or, oh, you want something to do? I got a 15-foot trench you can dig. Um, So, I think there's just a little bit left over from that, which isn't really a bad thing. I think it kind of puts my work ethic up on some people, as lazy as I can be.
Oh yeah, yeah. I get it. I'm always doing something random. Like I mean, I did 10, like 13 pages of art, maybe more, in like the
Yeah.
24-hour period.
Dude, I saw you made like a whole like comic, and then was that two comics you did, or just like kind of working out
I
layouts and
did
story structure for them?
3 pages, and then on Waiting to Die number 4, I penciled a bunch of stuff and then refined some of the pencils and like kind of cleaned it up, and I got through like 4 pages of that, and then I slept for like 3 hours, and then I did the 10 pages of rambling, like
Yeah.
my I am Jack's liver fucking book.
Yeah. Yeah, a little surrealist autobiographical kind of stuff. Yeah, I mean, hey, when the inspiration strikes, I guess you have to you're a slave to the muse, I suppose.
Yeah, that or the medication gets stronger, and then you're like, I don't need to sleep. I'm just gonna get a bunch of shit done.
Yeah,
um,
that could be a combo of both.
right? Jesus. Did you? How did the Augusta? It was an anime convention.
Yeah, the Augusta Anime Fest. That actually went very well. It was either the third or fourth time I've done it. And I usually do consistently well, and I'm able to like kind of figure out like, okay, what sold, what didn't, what can I kind of double down on. Which is funny because like contract, we talked about that one you did where they weren't like letting people back inside,
Yeah.
you know. And I this year, earlier on this year, I was like, all right, well, let me try like the anime conventions in like a couple of different locations because it's like everything's pretty drivable where I'm at in South Carolina. Like I can easily pop over to North Carolina, Georgia, Jacksonville. Like it's all within a day trip. And then I booked one. I thought it was going to be in Greenville, South Carolina, but stupid me didn't see the North Carolina part of it. So I ended up doing that. That one I made zero sales. I had to like hard sell somebody in their cosplay to allow me to draw them for like $15. And even that was like 5 minutes of like negotiation. So I don't know if it was like the difference in like audience, because a lot of those conventions, you like, even the one I just did, I was a little worried about it just because of how the Greenville one went. And then when I got to my table, like I'm like right next to, a bunch of fucking plushies that are like spilling into the aisle. They're like they had their displays that were like a foot out from where my table was, and the guy next to me had like all these like I don't know where they order these things from, but it's like all these like knickknacks and shit
Yeah,
that
it's
look
like the
like they're
Timu
from
shit.
yeah, but it's like all spilling into the aisle, and I'm like looking at my table. I'm like, I'm like fucking Barry Becker. So I just picked up the whole table and like moved it up so I could be even with their fucking displays. Um, so I don't know if it was like that audience in Greenville was more there for those things, because those things seem to sell very well. The people next to me, oh dude, they were like the fucking Lockhorns. You know that comic strip, The Lockhorns, in like the Sunday paper.
No.
Oh, it's just like about an old couple that like bickers at each other. It's like boomer shit. But I was like literally next to the fucking Lockhorn selling like insulated cups that were like wrapped in like K-pop Demon Hunters and shit. They were making fucking gangbusters, and they were bragging about it the whole time, and like also bickering with each other the whole time.
Oh,
Um, yeah. So I don't know if it was a difference in audience quality or just like because none of the other artists there seemed to make any money. Um,
yeah.
so, but Augusta, man, they love artists, and I had a line of people at my booth like pretty much all day. I was drawing commissions from like 10 a.m. to like 3 p.m. until I ran out of paper and had to use like a donated sheet of paper from another vendor.
Jesus.
Um,
It's so hit or miss like now. Like I've
yeah,
the one where they didn't let people back in, like I was in this corner and it was just like completely dark, creepy, and it's like a small indoor arena for hockey and basketball and stuff like that. So there's just this
yeah,
wall of chairs next to us, like the bleachers pushed back, and it was just
yeah.
like wall of chairs, dark room, and like it was a corner that like people turned around, and if one person stopped, it created this weird pinch point, and everyone had to just kind of funnel through to, and
Oh
like
God.
nobody stopped to look at anybody's stuff, and so it
Yeah,
was
it's
like
like they
that.
just immediately feel like they're trapped like rats and they got to get out.
Yeah, yeah. They're like, I told you we shouldn't have came to
Yeah,
this dark
oh, it
corner.
smells in here.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
No, I agree, man. I think the market has like, I mean, not finally, but like I'm only been doing this like for like a year or two. Um, but I think it's like kind of been like now the market is towards creators. Be like, oh yeah, you need the here's all the shit you need to table at a thing. Everybody's got like very similar looking like those like
the cubes
I don't
and
know. Yeah,
yeah,
the cubes and
yeah,
shit, and like it's like it seems like there's like a starter kit for these things. And I think on the same end of the spectrum, there's a lot of people that realize, oh, you mean I can just say I'm doing an anime convention and put in the bare minimum effort and then collect the money and run. So I mean, yeah, there's like unfortunately a lot of risk with shit like this, but I don't know. I'll do the Augusta one again just because I seem like I do well there. But never again will I go to Greenville. I don't know if it's a bunch of broke bitches up there or what the hell was going on, but that one was a disaster.
yeah. I
Um,
find those kind of things. It's like because we have a couple of those here, and it's like people show up and then they buy shit that they could just buy at like the dollar store from people,
yeah,
and it's
you
like
go on Amazon or something. Yeah,
yeah, they just show up
like
and they're
I
like,
don't
this is
see
a
the
flea
value in
market.
stuff like that, but it's I guess there's audiences for it. People like knickknacks and try. I mean, hey, I bought a hold on, I'll show you what I bought at Target because it was on clearance. It's so fucking stupid. Oh, it must have fell behind here. There it is. Oh, I mean, they'll get me with shit like this. They had Skibbity toilet action figures.
All
Yeah,
right,
it was
guys,
like
that's
three
it for
bucks.
today.
You got to appreciate the slop a little bit. I'm not gonna deny I didn't watch like at least 50 of those shorts on YouTube. I definitely did because hey, there's something about it that's like hypnotic and they got me. There's some like underlying archetypal thing in skivvy toilets. I don't know what it is, but I think it's worth digging into.
I mean, think about that little plastic thing that they made. The amount of like oil that they had to process to
Oh,
make into that
sure.
thing, and then some child
Sure.
in Taiwan is sitting there painting your skibbity toilet figure, and then it goes
Yeah.
all the diesel fuel used to transport it all over the world so you could have it for $3.
Well, it was either I'm gonna have it or somebody else is gonna have it or it's gonna end up in a landfill sooner.
Sooner, yeah.
It's already been made. The oil's been used. The blood has already been spilled.
Yeah,
Who am I to
all for
who am
skibbity
I
toilet.
to say, oh, you know what? $3 is pretty good market value for a Skibbity toilet
Yeah.
action figure.
What's the
I also got
action
the
in it?
camera head too. He's got a plunger.
See, I barely
Uh,
have any like idea of what that is. Jesus Christ!
I'll hit you with it, dude. It's fucking ridiculous.
Like I
It's
saw
like
like a I saw like an episode of it, and I was like, that's enough.
yeah. Yeah, actually, you know, with the medication and the ADHD, it's bound to trigger a manic state or something. You might end up with a 10-page comic about killing skibbity toilets or something. Or
Yeah.
you know what? You throwing up into skibbity toilets.
And then it just slams shut on my head, and then I become skibbity toilet,
Yes.
walking
But
around with a
maybe
toilet.
your throat's like radioactive and you're like super skibbity toilet with like spider powers or something.
Yeah, I'll end up like some kind of Hellraiser character.
Honestly, Hellraiser skibbity toilet crossover, not a bad idea.
Well, there you go. We need to find. You know what? We should just hire a bunch of people on Fiverr to draw our stupid ideas into comics.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like I don't want to spend 3 hours doing it, but I definitely want to see it done.
Yeah, it's
And
like
I don't want AI to generate it, so I want somebody's vision on
yeah, we'll just pay like somebody in the Philippines to
this.
draw our dumbass ideas, and
Yeah, well, I mean,
then we'll be
I'm
that
sure all
sad
those Korean
person.
animators are looking for work now because it's like
Oh
AI animated or whatever. So,
yeah,
yeah,
Disney
I bet you
fired
can get the
everybody.
Korean guys on the cheap.
Disney fired everybody, and then now was it Amazon's trying to hire people to man their AI cartoon channels or some shit. But yeah, I couldn't imagine like if having a book that all you do is write and sit at the table, and people come up and they're like, "Oh, did you draw this?" And they're like, "No, I'm the writer. I
Yeah,
wrote this
yeah.
skibbity toilet adventure." And they're like,
Yep.
"What?" Like I don't even know why like most writers go to comic conventions. It's so weird because they're like they'll have like 6 different books with different art, and I'm like, "What did you do?" And they're like, "Oh, I wrote it." And you're like, I could do
Like,
that.
did you provide storyboards or layout or anything? No, I just wrote it. Like, I kind of feel like, and I think that's the hard thing. Like, I don't know what it would be like to just be like a comic book writer, which to me is insane. Like, if you're just writing comic books, why aren't you also like writing novels? And, you know, I feel like if you're a writer, why wouldn't you try all these different mediums kind of thing, you know? But I think as like comic book artists, like you have to already kind of be, you have to write your own shit. So it's like, what a hard sell to come up to somebody and be like, hey, you want to look at my scripts? Usually I'm like, not really. Not really. I write and draw all my own shit and I got stuff on the back burner. I don't have time.
Well, yeah, that's the thing is like I would get hit up and people be like, "Can you draw this for me?" And I'm like, I only have like 6 more comics I can do in my lifetime.
Yeah.
It's like,
I mean, if it comes down to money, I mean, like there, you know, I wouldn't mind getting paid for it, but it's always like seeking like a collaboration. I'm like, I don't have the time to invest in that. Like, I'm already trying to figure out how to take what's in my head and put it on the page. I can't take what's in your head and then put it in my head and then go back to, you know, it's like, all right, this is fucking crazy. I get frustrated just thinking about it. But I
yeah,
also I've
I
never liked working in groups and shit either. So and I don't know, again, like back to the post con hangover. I mean, I think the solitary kind of thing, it just kind of works for me. Even when I was like a house painter, like I started working in the spray shop and it was just like I'm in there all by myself. I get there early, fucking just spraying cabinet doors all day and then go home like an hour late and pick up overtime. It was awesome. Nobody would ever bother me. It was so great.
yeah, that's kind of like how I like my normal day job because once I leave the building, I'm my own boss and I just do whatever I want. Like,
Yeah, you're driving, you're delivering packages. Hell yeah. No, I like that type of stuff where it's like, all right, let me check in, make sure there's not anything extra I got to do, and then all right, I'm gonna go do what I normally just fucking do, and try to stay productive.
yeah, that's always the try is the key word in
Oh
most of the
yeah.
stuff. Because I mean, I had so many ideas of shit I was gonna get done before I went back to work, and I would say it's like 15% of it got done over the course of
Yeah.
a year, and now I'm
Yeah.
like, can I do it all in the next 5 days?
Yeah, yeah. It's like really cramming it now. It's back to high school.
Yeah, it's I don't know, it's a cycle of bad ideas, I guess. Um, so are you gonna do the Country Cat and make it like a bigger book, or because I have the one that you made and uh,
Yeah. So I have this one I actually like. I feel like I did it like proper because like all the comics I've done before, except for Alf, I didn't write like any sort of script or anything. I was just kind of like, oh, this would be funny, this would be funny, and then just kind of worked it out like either in my sketchbook, and then by the time I would finish that page, I'd have like kind of another idea for the next page. Um, but Country Cat, like I had, so it kind of started like last year-ish, kind of like, springtime comes around, the fucking grass is growing again, mowing the lawn for the first time, and then I like
ran
to
over a
listen to
cat
these
with a lawnmower, and you were
yeah,
like,
no, no,
idea.
yeah. Yes, ooh, cat soup. Um, no, it's there's a couple of live Grateful Dead albums I really, really like because they have these really good renditions of this song called China Cat Sunflower. And typically when they play it live, there's like three songs that, there's China Cat Sunflower, and then it flows into this kind of like open jam called like Mind Left Body Jam, and then it goes into this other really awesome song called I Know You Rider, which is like I think it's like a traditional blues song from like the 20s or something, but the way they do it is like it's so fucking like I don't know whether or not you like the Dead. Some people really hate them, some people really, really like them. I'm kind of in the middle. I just think they're really pleasant and enjoyable to listen to, especially when they like lock into a groove or they get like real kind of spacey. And it's like, how did we start with like Box of Rain and now we're in this like really like atmospheric kind of jam kind of stuff. But yeah, anyway, I like those three songs a lot, and then I just got this like image in my head of like a cat mowing the lawn and he's like wearing a sun hat, so I like drew it in my sketchbook one day. And then spring came around again this year, and I was started thinking about it again. I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna type something up on my computer, see where it goes. And I ended up like one evening, like typing like a 4-page outline, and it like made sense. And then I was like, all right, I'll read it next week just to make sure. And then I was like, this isn't bad. And then I decided to like start breaking it up into a script and thumbnailing it. And I wasn't sure how to approach it. And, I got to thinking like, well, if there's like Grateful Dead stuff in there, I'm not enough of a deadhead to like be putting Grateful Dead references all over my comic because people get really, it's like comic book nerds. If they see an inconsistency, they're gonna be like, well, chili.
Yeah.
But great, but in a more hippie kind of way. Um, so I changed, like originally I was going to call him China Cat, but I changed it to Country Cat because I like the alliteration and I wanted to kind of distance it from
Yeah,
that a
because
little bit.
China
But I
and
started,
country don't they don't both start with C's. I get
but also like less.
it.
I wanted to keep the alliteration, but I wanted to distance it a little bit from the
From the
Grateful
song,
Dead.
yeah.
But I also was like thinking, well, like the era of the Grateful Dead, and then like Robert Crumb was like very much in that like circle of like the Bay Area like kind of rock and roll shit, and he like notoriously hated it, which I think is like very funny. But then
Yeah,
I
because
was
he like
like
that
looking
old
at
timey weird jazz.
yeah, he likes old blues records and shit. So like I get the feeling he would be like, "Oh, I know you, Ryder. I got this on 45 shellac, and it's so much better." Whatever the fuck he has in his collection. I'm sure he has a copy of "I Know You, Ryder" that's not by the Grateful Dead. Um, but I was looking at like his Fritz the Cats, and I was like, "Well, what can I like kind of take from him?" Because I like Robert Crumb a lot. So I ended up like really liking his really simple layouts. Like everything's like, 3x4 or like 2x3. So I was like, all right, I'm gonna just steal those layouts. And then I don't know what type of pen he uses, but one of the reasons why I fell into like drawing with a fountain pen so much is because it has that like deadline quality
Yeah.
that you find in a lot of his work. Same thing with like Mobius. Like I don't know exactly what the fuck they use, but if I'm going to try to take what I like from them, this is the best tool I've found to kind of do that. So yeah, I just kind of took from that and then just like, okay, now I got my outline. How can I divide it up into these layouts? And it was just, and it made it a lot easier too, because it was just the simple decision of, all right, do I want 12 panels on this page or do I want 6 panels on this page? Um, and then that helped me with like pacing the story, I think. So yeah, I'm still very much in the middle of it. I'm on page 6 right now that I'm drawing, and I have about 20 more to go. And then my plan is to add watercolors to it. I left a lot of the illustrations like very kind of open feeling and tried not to over render anything, so that
Yeah.
way I could, create more of the contrast with the watercolors.
When you do the
I've never done a
watercoloring of it, do you reprint them on like a different paper and then do it, or do you just go right on the
most
originals?
most of the time I'll go right on top of the originals, but I've had to gesso out a few mistakes and the watercolor
Yeah.
won't, you can see that. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to light box it with a pencil and then just do separate watercolors, and
Then
then
plug them
combine
in
them
digitally.
digitally.
Yeah.
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 I
And
mean,
I think that's got a really great effect because you can keep your inks like unmuted. Like if you watercolor over them, sometimes they get a little washed out.
yeah.
Um, and and then I can play with the contrast of the watercolors and stuff, or adjust that a little bit more freely without having to like dial back the inks or anything. So that's my plan. I'm pretty sure it'll work because I've done it with like other things that I've drawn before.
I'm pretty sure it'll
I mean,
work.
I'm pretty sure it'll work. I like 95% sure, barring something I'm just not thinking of, or which I don't think I am. But yeah, that's the idea. And then as far as like how I'm gonna print it, I want to try to like do like a Kickstarter thing. Um, I've been getting like pretty good traffic on my YouTube lately, so I think I might be able to convert that into possibly kickstarting it. So we'll see. I mean, that's still like so far down the line to where, when I get to it, I'll hopefully know a little bit more for sure.
Yeah, I see people do these Kickstarters, and I'm like, this seems like a nightmare. This is like a whole nother
It,
job.
yeah, I definitely gonna have to research it because I've only ever backed the Kickstarter. I have no fucking idea what goes into it, and I'm sure there's all kinds of accounting things I'm gonna have to do. So I'm not really looking forward to that process, but I got no choice. I got to learn about it.
Yeah, I wonder. So, like, with going back to conventions, it kind of ties
Yeah,
in. Like with the conventions, um, like conventions and Kickstarters and things like that for the last couple years have been making like it seemed like anything that you were doing, you were gonna make game busters off of it.
bless
Sorry.
you.
Um, but like these people were making like fucking record profits and like Kickstarters, and then you watch YouTube
Yeah,
and these kids are making like 15, 20, $30,000 and they're upset with $6,000. But I think that was the anomaly and not the median. Um,
sure.
and I think things are dropping back down. So I'm like wondering if people that are doing Kickstarters now are still seeing the same success of like, what it was 2 years ago. So like that's kind of the thing that like
Yeah,
weirds me out with the whole thing is like I don't know what I would do if I did a Kickstarter. I made
yeah.
$358 of my $1,000 that I wanted.
Oh, for sure. So, I mean, and this is pure speculation because again, I've done like zero research into this, but I've noticed that phenomena too, where like, oh wow, this Kickstarter got $25,000. I don't think I would need nearly that. Like, basically, all I want to do is cover like printing it, which I think probably wouldn't exceed beyond like $600 or something like that. And that way, people who back it would get it, and then I'd have some left over. But I mean, there's a guy I met. I did a card show like a year and a half ago in Simpsonville, some like bumfuck town near Greenville, South Carolina. But
At a card show. I imagine it's a greeting card show, and everybody's
no, it was
just
like
like,
sports cards and like Pokemon cards. That I didn't end up doing good there, but the one thing good that did come out of it. Have you ever heard of Mike Hoffman?
mm, is that like the BMX? No, that's Matt Hoffman.
No,
I
Matt
got,
Hoffman.
I
No,
got no idea.
no, Mike Hoffman. He worked for like DC and Marvel in like the '90s as an artist for a little bit. And he does his own thing now, but apparently he lives like in Greenville, South Carolina, and he happened to come to the show just to see if there were any artists, and he ended up spending like the majority of the show at my booth, just chit chatting with me about comics and art and shit. But he's like, he's very like his thing now is he's like, oh, I want to do Frank Frazetta better than Frank Frazetta, and he's a very talented artist, and he definitely captures the aesthetic of Frank Frazetta a lot. But he's got his own like, self-published horror magazine called Eerie, but it's spelled Eyrie, so it's not, like Eerie, like the
Yeah,
official Lacey
it's
Comics one or
Irie.
whatever. Yeah, essentially. Um, but he was telling me the way he does it is he just does his Kickstarters for like $500 every single month on those things, and he always makes the goal and is able to print out copies that he can sell. They go to the backers, and then he's able to deliver them to like comic book shops, like I don't know, I guess within a 100-mile radius. Because I saw he showed up at one of the shops near me like last month or whatever, dropping them off. But he's another one. I got a story in his magazine earlier this year. So yeah, I'm always like, whenever I see people that are doing stuff like that, I'm always like, well, how are you funding this? What if I want to do something like this too? How would you go about doing it?
Yeah,
So I'm always like interested in picking people's brain. That's kind of he's like, yeah, it's like I just do the goal for like $500 and it always hits. He doesn't have a huge following on Instagram or anything, so he must have some sort of newsletter marketing or something, but he's definitely beating the street a lot too, which I think is like, whether or not those bigger Kickstarter funding things, if that was the way they were getting the word out. But I think, I don't know, the only thing that's been successful for me is like, you post shit online, but you have to like physically put shit in people's hands sometimes, which is
yeah.
why I brought 90 copies of my
Oh
fucking
shit!
Country Cat comic to
You
hear it.
put in 90
Dude, 90 copies, and I handed every single one of them out.
See, that's the shit that like people don't get. That's why I make the little
Yeah.
like chat book things because
Yeah.
I just want to get stuff out and have people
You
see
got to
it
put it in
because
people's hands because they remember it.
yeah, because well, like me making $10 off selling something versus giving away $10 worth of shit, like that ten
Yes.
dollars worth of stuff, I might get somebody who buys the next,
Yes. You
three
might get
things I
somebody that
do.
buys an original piece off you or something. And you got to treat it like an investment in yourself too. It's like I think it's showing that you're confident in, what you've created and you're willing to give it to people, and whatever their reaction is their reaction. I mean,
No, I
I
really.
had plenty of people be like, "No, I don't want a comic." I'm like, "You're at a fucking comic book convention. What are you doing?"
That's
I'm not
like
saying that
that's
to
like
them,
what
but it's
happened
it's it's the
with
it's the
Frank.
it's the words that go across my mind, and I'm like, all right. I say, "That's cool, man. I hope you enjoy your day."
Oh god, that
Um,
was like Frank. All his shit fell off the table, and this
yeah.
lady came and she goes, "Oh," and she picks it all up and is like, it's like all over the floor, and she
Oh
picks it all
God.
up and is handing it to me. He was like, "Oh, thank you so much. Well, do you want one of these?" And she was like, "No," and like it was like he just offered her a pile of dog shit, and she was like
That's crazy, man. Like
repulsed.
anytime anybody gives me a comic for free, my reaction is yes. Because even if it's something I don't like hey man, you took the time to create it, you're giving it to me for free. Of course I'll check it out.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. Why would you say no to free shit like that? Like, what do you think? I'm gonna like stab you in the back as soon as you turn around to read it? Like, I don't understand the apprehension. But this is sales. Comics is also sales. I spent a lot of time working at Barnes and Noble selling a membership card I didn't fucking believe in, and I
Jesus
made
Christ. How many
yeah.
fucking jobs have you had? You got Blockbuster,
Um,
which hasn't been
all
around for
right,
like
I'll go through it.
10
I
years.
started out.
And then
I started out as a bag boy at Albertsons in high school, and then when I graduated, I worked in the Albertsons liquor store, which was like, right next door to the Albertsons because I guess they couldn't sell liquor inside of the Albertsons. I don't know, it's
weird.
some law, I'm sure. And then I got a job at Blockbuster because I was like, oh shit, free movies. And, I was like 19 years old. And I was like, yeah, I'll fucking work at Blockbuster. And then I had some friends of mine that worked at a used CD store and had somebody quit on them. And they're like, you want to take his position? So I was like, okay. So I worked at a used CD store for a while. And then Barnes and Noble after that, because that store went belly up when the economy took a shit back in like '08, '09. Worked at Barnes and Noble from like 2009 to like 2016, maybe. Yeah, no, 2015, end of 2015. And then that's when I graduated from Florida State University with a studio art degree. So it's not like I left that job like for higher prospects. I was just sick and tired of it.
I like that all your
Um,
jobs were like industries that went away completely. Like
Dude, yeah, well, I
Blockbuster's
mean,
gone, CDs are gone, and
yeah,
then like
well,
print media that Barnes and Noble is the only bookstore left.
yeah. I mean, I don't know. Like, I foolishly, like my brother went to school for like applied mathematics and he got like his master's in like fluid dynamics and he does like computer programming. It's like he's smart as shit and he like makes decent money doing it too. I didn't do any of that. I was stubborn and like my dad was like, please just like take a business class or like something. I'm like, no, I don't want to.
No, I'm gonna
And I
rewind these fucking tapes.
yeah, and instead I took life drawing 3 semesters in a row until a guidance counselor was like, "You can't take this anymore. You already have this credit." And I'm like, "Yeah, but there's still shit to learn. I mean, I don't know."
Yeah. Oh,
Um,
I've only taken so when I went to like regular college and not like an art school,
oh, I didn't
it
go to no
was
arts. I started off in community college. There's
yeah.
nothing
I had a
prestigious about anywhere
art
I've been.
school and then I had to go to community college and I took a uh what's it, the beginner art class on drawing or whatever,
Yeah,
and
drawing
like
one. Oh yeah,
yeah, and
do the
I was
shapes, do the value
yeah,
scale. Let's set up a still
stare at
life.
your hand and so like I'm doing all this stuff and just blowing through it because it's like so remedial, but like nothing transferred
Sure.
over from an art school. And then the teacher, she kept giving me like C's and D's, and I was like, what's going on? I'm taking a night class. It's me and 14 like moms whose kids have moved out of the house and they're just doing
Yeah.
something to be busy. And she goes, well, I
Yep.
don't think you're progressing as much as the other people. And I was all, I'm up here and they're learning how to do circles and triangles and
Yeah,
shit
it's
like
like you
that.
got to give me something to progress to. I don't know. Like I did the value scale, I did the still life. Well, what are
Yeah,
your notes here?
just
You
pass
know?
me. And then like so what happened was like I was fighting with her like the entire like part of the semester up until when you could drop the class. And
Yeah.
so one of the things is you had to go to an art show and review the art show. And I found out
Oh,
that
fun.
she had an art show. And so I went through and it was like, this is remedial. I don't think it's progressing as much. And like I gave it the worst review ever. And I turned it in and dropped the class.
Hell yeah, you showed her.
I was like, this is stupid. I just took this for an easy credit, and now I'm fighting with this fucking lady for a
Oh,
C
for
so I can
sure.
pass. I was like, you fucking asshole. But
Well, my problem in school was like I was only interested in drawing. Like they would try to put a paintbrush in my hand, and I hated it. I took a before I was at FSU, I did like a semester at Florida Atlantic University, which is in Boca Raton, Florida. So it's like I could drive there from my house or whatever. But I took a painting class there, and like for whatever reason, that lady absolutely hated me. She wouldn't even give me notes on what I was doing. She'd be like, "You don't see all this like purple in here," and I'm like, I don't. Like I might be colorblind maybe to some extent, like maybe I don't like even to this day, like I only like just getting into watercolors in the last like year or so have I felt like decent about like, okay, maybe I'm not like completely colorblind. Like and it could be that watercolors feels more similar to drawing to me than it does painting. Like painting to me, it gets so overwhelming. Like when you do acrylics, especially oil paints.
yeah,
Um, because I feel like there's too much choice and in the painting I mean the process is the painting just looks ugly for a long time and I just didn't have that stamina I guess to progress it to a point where it needed to be good, or the patience, but
yeah. I'm like, I
I
gotta sit here
never
and wait for the paint to dry, or I could have drawn this with a
yeah,
pen and
or be
paper in
dry
five
enough to where
seconds.
I can yeah or I could paint on top of it, so I never really like, and maybe to my detriment, I never really explored like too many other mediums unless I had to. Like I took a printmaking class in community college, and we were doing oh, I forget what it was. I think it was the one where you scratch the plexiglass and you pull prints off of that. I forget what it's called. But they had a press there and it's got like the cloth on it, and like, when she was teaching us how to do it, she like made a big deal about don't ever get ink on like the cloth that's on the press because you fucking that ruined the press. And I was like, all right, I'll make sure not to do that. And then I went to a lab
And then
one
you
night
did.
to like, yeah, I went to a lab one night, because they had open labs and nobody was in there, and I was like trying to pull my prints, and I got ink all over it, and I went home and dropped the class.
You got ink all over it. You're like, oh shit. And then you're like, I'm gonna go
She's gonna
erase these
ask you about that tomorrow.
security.
I cannot face this demon. I wasn't prepared at the time. I was an absolute coward back then. I'm still a coward today. I'm not gonna. I'll admit that.
I mean,
But
we
I
all
mean,
are in some form or another.
I think a lot of it though is like I never had anybody aside from like my life drawing teachers, and I took a course on experimental painting and experimental drawing at FSU. They were the only ones that were like, "Oh no, you should definitely be drawing, but I also want you to, once you have your drawing, do X, Y, and Z with it." So like I felt like at FSU, or for whatever reason, like I didn't get really any good paintings out of it, but I felt like I didn't hate it as much when I was there. So I mean, again, it could just be a quality of teacher. It could have been the difference of where I was at, at those different times and stuff like that. Which I had a lot of like shit going on in my life at that time.
Seems
But
like a theme.
yeah, well, that's life, man. And at some point, stuff happens to you, and then you're just like, well, I guess stuff's just gonna keep happening, but I should have like at least some agency over it.
I know. I feel like it's like I always have all this shit to do, and then I'm in my head. I'm thinking like, I'm gonna have a break soon. Summer's coming, and I'm gonna be out of school, and I won't have to deal with
Yeah,
this. And then I'm like, oh
yeah,
fuck, I'm 43. This is just never gonna stop.
yeah,
It's like
yeah.
there's a
Before you know it,
stack of
time
shit,
flies.
and I knock it all down, and then like I'm like, oh, I only have two things left, and then something happens, and it's like it just makes the pile grow again. I'm like, oh, this is
Yes,
awesome.
exactly.
Yeah. Now,
But yeah. After I graduated FSU, like I took, I had some money saved, so I was like, well, fuck it, I'm just gonna like quit my job and see what I can find. I saw that the community college in Tallahassee had like a welding school, so I did that for a semester,
oh no,
and
that's
I met a
fucking
guy
tight.
there. I mean,
You're just sitting there,
it
and they're
was
like,
cool.
your welds are terrible. It looks like shit.
I mean, that was essentially it. Like I never got it. I never got to the first test where you got to like oh god, you have to like bevel the edges of two pieces of steel, and then you got to run like a 60-10 rod to like basically create a base for it, and then there's 70-18s I think you fill it up with, and then you got to grind it up. I never
Yeah.
made it to that. But I met a guy there who worked for like a painting company. He was like, yeah, they're hiring right now. I was like, oh shit, I need a job. And so I like called him up and went in the next day, and I was like, listen, like I don't have any like house painting experience outside of just like, helping my parents like paint the interior of a room or something like that, but I do have a studio art degree. I painted on canvas before. Just about anything you show me, if you put me with somebody that is willing to teach me, I will learn it. And I did. I got very good at house painting very fast. And so much so I was like basically running the spray shop within 6 months of starting there. So, it's not through like a lack of trying, I think. It's just, you got to fail at a ton of shit, and then and now I don't really paint anymore. Can't really get into those reasons, but yeah, now I'm doing this.
um, no, I think with like all the different things that you experience in life, and you only know this like as you get older, you start to realize
Mhm.
like, oh, I fucking hated this, but I took the one
Yeah.
thing and put it in my bucket, and then like I
Yes.
wasn't very good at this type of art, but I took the one thing I learned and I put it in my bucket, and then like it just becomes your
Exactly.
own little style type of thing after you've taken all these things and put it in. So I
Oh yeah. You start to build your own navigation system a little bit, I think. And then, like you said, a lot of this, as you get older, it just comes with experience and just trying to like, I mean, whether or not you do it voluntarily or involuntarily, I think your brain kind of sorts out like what works and what doesn't work. Like, I mean, even for instance, like selling those fucking membership cards at Barnes and Noble, like I hated doing it. The cards I still feel like have like no fucking value because they're like $25 a year, and unless you're buying like books every month, it's not really worth the savings. But like I was able to like take that skill and I was like, well, if I could sell something I don't believe in and I'm not confident in and I'm basically under threat of like my job to like keep my numbers up, surely I can sell artwork and comics that like I spent an awful lot of time on, and just by having done that, I believe in them. Surely I can carnival bark at people, and I do, and I feel like I do pretty good at it. But it's also sometimes you can't help that you get a crowd where nobody's interested in it, and that's you just got to keep going.
Yeah, that's mainly I get the latter. It's nobody wants to buy anything.
It's hard, man, just to get people looking at your shit and then to have them leave with something in hand. Like I think I just kind of figured out like my basic like table setup that I think works really well. Like I built all these like fucking shelves out of plywood I got at Home
Yeah, I saw
Depot.
that. I was like, Jesus Christ,
Um,
those look heavy.
no, they're really light. They're so much lighter than I mean they're probably not lighter than like, some of the,
Yeah, the
stick
little
together
cube
ones that you
things.
can. Yeah, but I mean, it looks different, so I think that helps my booth quite a bit because you see a lot of that same aesthetic, I think,
I would
at
really like to
booths.
see you have like the little like panel thing with a little store
The little cubes,
window and all the
yeah, and then I'm
kawaii
hiding
little
way back
like
there where nobody can see me,
yeah.
which again I think is also a detriment. The other reason I don't like those is because I think it creates a barrier between you and the person you're trying to yell at.
I know it's weird. I get the tables and like I actually prefer a barrier and not talking to people. I'm trying to get
Oh
out of
yeah,
that,
well,
but it's like
yeah.
I'm bad at talking about like small things and icebreakers and like
Yeah,
nonsense
you don't
talk.
even have to
I
do that. Like
hate that.
all I do is I have my bookshelf with my comics and just an open portfolio. Usually the portfolio, like as people are walking by, I can see them eyeballing it, and some of the time they stop and start paging through it, and I'll just be like, "Oh, hey, what's up? My name's Jason. This is my comic portfolio, and these are the comics I make out of it. Let me know if you have any questions. Feel free to page through anything you want." And I don't say a fucking word after that.
And then you
And then
turn
if
your
they
back.
no, I go back to like doodling or if I whatever. I mean, I look at my phone. I try not to look at my phone, but it happens. But anything because it's really hard. I think to try to find a line between like overselling yourself and just being like, oh hey man, what's up? Yeah, look at all the art you want. It's behind plastic, no worries. If you want to look through any of the comics, but so if you have, just try to keep it as simple as possible. And then, if they break off and go away, I'm like, oh, thanks. I'll be here all day. I always say I'll be here all day to try to like put it in their brain that like I'm gonna see you again walking by. You know what I'm saying? There's like a subliminal, like unsaid kind of like I don't want to call it a threat,
Yeah,
but
like it's
you got
like
to guilt trip them a little bit without being overbearing. But that's a really,
like
I mean,
if you don't
again,
come
I
back,
fucking
I'm gonna find
I
you.
fucking sold Barnes and Noble membership cards for like 7 years, so it's like I don't know,
You
it just
worked at
must come.
Barnes and Nobles for 7 years.
Yeah, dude, I quit in like the end of 2015, and I started in 2009 across two different locations too. One in Plantation, Florida, and the other in Tallahassee, Florida. Um, yeah,
I'm amazed they had two bookstores in Florida.
oh, bro, yeah, people read down there, believe it or
I
not.
I mean, it's like that episode of Atlanta where like Florida Man is one man and he's a myth, and they're like talking about Florida Man when they go down to Florida, and
Oh yeah,
they're like, "You never heard of Florida Man?" They like start listing all these
oh yeah.
things where because all the news reports start with Florida Man, and then they go see Cat Williams, and it's like a whole fucking episode. It's
I gotta,
amazing.
I gotta watch Atlanta. I've been recommended that show like so many times, and I just have not. Like
It's so
I haven't
good.
watched a show in so long.
It's
I
so
think
good
that one
that
came
I
out when my
haven't.
first kid was born, so it's
Oh,
like, all right, that's the end of me watching shows for a while.
that's the end of everything for a while. But no, it's
Oh,
so
dude,
good
I
that
like
like I
I
didn't
put
want to.
something on, I fall asleep. I'm sorry, I keep
I
interrupting.
didn't want to like I still haven't watched the last couple episodes of it, and it ended like years ago. But I'm like I don't. I'll just save these for
Yeah, I don't
it's
want it to end.
it's like high maintenance. Like I think that's what it was called. The one at HBO where the guy rides a bike and he's the weed delivery man. But
Oh
like
yeah, I
he's
forgot
just the
about that
connector
show.
of like all these different separate
Yeah.
stories. It's an amazing show, and I didn't watch it for so long just because of the whole weed thing, and I was like, I don't want to watch a fucking show about weed. Hanging out with people
Yeah.
that are high is fucking boring as shit. Like I don't want to
Yeah.
watch it on TV. Jesus.
Yeah, well, I'll watch Weeds with oh, what the fuck is her name? Mary Louise Parker.
Yeah, there was
Weeds
like
on
50
Showtime.
seasons of that shit. Like
Yeah.
I
Hey,
remember
that show got fucking crazy. I don't think I ever finished it.
somebody bought me like the DVD box sets of it like for Christmas,
Hmm.
like because I guess it was on Target's Black Friday sale for like $5 a season, and
Oh
so
shit.
I got all of them, and I got through like the second season. I was like, I don't care, I don't care,
Yeah, it gets a
and then I
little
threw
like
them away.
soap opera-y. It definitely like well, I don't want to say something's for girls or something's for boys, but that was definitely as it progressed, I was like, oh shit, I think this show's for girls.
That's how I felt about True Blood. Like halfway through, I was like, everybody's a
Yeah.
magical like gay
Yeah.
demon vampire
Well,
werewolf. I
well,
was
every dude that I knew that was watching True Blood was either because they wanted to get with a girl who was watching True Blood or their girlfriend was watching True. It was
like, I
it
would say
didn't ever
the
seem.
first season was like good, and then it just
Mhm.
went like everything was a magical creature, and I was like,
Yeah,
I was like,
sure.
I don't get it. Whatever.
Yeah, no, it's I haven't watched too much of that show. I've seen like an episode here and there. I'll tell you what I do like though. If it ever comes on like broadcast television, I will always watch the Twilight movies.
Oh, in my head, I was like Twilight Zone, yeah, and then I was like, wait, glittery
Is that what they're
vampires.
called? The
Yeah,
vampires with
Twilight.
Robert Pattinson. Yeah. Oh, they're
Yeah.
so silly, man. Especially those sequels. They're so fucking funny.
Yeah, I can't even sit through them. Like, I mean, it's not to the
Oh
point where
man,
they're
I'll
like,
sit there cackling the whole time, man. It's like watching The Room.
well, that's like, what was it, 50 Shades of Grey? Like,
Oh yeah.
me and my wife tried to watch that, and I was just like pointing out all the things that would never happen. And and I was like, everybody would think this guy's a serial killer. They wouldn't start dating him unless,
Yeah.
you meet one of the fucking weirdos that writes serial killers in
Well,
jail.
it's crazy. Yeah, it's crazy too because I feel like there was a movie way back when called Secretary with Maggie Gyllenhaal and James Spader. I'm like, isn't that already 50 Shades of Grey? But it was like so much more racier, I think. You ever see that one, Secretary?
No, I don't want to see anything sexual with Maggie Gyllenhaal in it. Like,
Oh, she gets
oh,
like spanked and stuff. It's a crazy movie.
oh, she's
And
got
then it's
fucking.
James Spader, so he's like, just James Spadering his way through the whole thing.
It would have been even better if it was bald James Spader before.
Oh man.
Just a weird
Yeah, they
crew.
should. You know what? They should remake it with Maggie Gyllenhaal now and James Spader now.
Oh, just two old people just like spanking each
Yeah,
other and
yeah.
stuff.
Just do it. Just do it. I mean, everything's
It
getting a
becomes a
legacy
horror
sequel
movie.
now. Yeah, I want Secretary too, where like he's retired, but she's still working as a secretary or so. I don't know where would that movie go in a
I
sequel,
don't
but
know. I wanted to do
they could
Secretariat
figure it
too,
out.
when it's
Yeah, the
called the Glue
secret. Yeah,
Factory.
Yeah, secretary meets secretariat, and she works at a glue factory now, and she's like, "Oh, I got it." And then it's like Schindler's List, and she's trying to save as many horses as
She's
she
trying to
can
save
from
the
a glue
horses because she's
factory.
gotten into a certain like genre of adult movies.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm making Mr. Hands. Yeah, in the movie she's
We're
making
gonna
Mr.
five her
Hands
this
too.
one.
It's a sequel to Secretary where it crosses over with Secretariat where she's trying to make Mr. Hands too. Boom, Hollywood, hire me.
Yeah, and we hired. Actually, can't hire the Lemon Party cast. They're all dead.
Dude, I love the Lemon Party cast. Oh wait, you mean the Shock website? I thought you meant the
Yeah,
podcast.
no, I've never heard of a podcast.
Oh, it's just like a shitty comedy podcast that I would never hope to share with anybody that I actually listen to. But then you triggered me, so you
Oh God, no, yeah, no.
got me.
All the people in the Lemon Party video are all
They're
dead.
dead.
Yeah,
They're all dead.
I mean, I do that all the time, and it like freaks my wife out. We were watching an old movie, and I'm like, that dog's been dead for like 22 years,
Yeah.
and I go, that person's been dead for 15 years. I was like, and then she goes, why
Oh
do you do
man,
this? Why do you do this? Why do you have to point out everything's
Toto's
dead?
been dead for like 100 years. Can you believe that?
Yeah, the Fraser dog has been dead for like 25 years.
Yep.
It's like everything you look at, and my brain like connects. Like, I like this show. This is pleasant. That dog's been dead for how long? The dad's been dead
Well,
for
we
how long?
what you got to do is you got to watch a movie where that's also like part of the lore. Like, you ever see Stalker? Andrei Tarkovsky, he's like a Russian filmmaker.
No.
He made this movie's like fucking incredible. It's really slow, so it's definitely not for everybody. But it's like about these three guys. One's an artist, one's a writer. I forget the job of the third, but they're like three archetypal guys. And there's this zone that is like kind of a no-go zone. There's like paranormal, supernatural shit that happens in it. But in this zone, there's like a room where like you go in the room and it's supposed to grant like your deepest desire or something like that. But it's a very slow movie, and famously he shot it. I think near like Chernobyl or something. There's some sort of radioactive like fallout on the entire like wherever he shot it, and I think like half the crew died like a decade later from like
They went
illness due to
full
it.
John Wayne.
Yeah, but it's an incredible movie. It's one I've seen it only once, and because it's a very long movie and it's very slow, so you have to like purposely like set aside time to make sure you're going to be awake for it, and like,
Oh, I'd fall
but
asleep.
it's one that like I'll be honest with you, I think about it at least once a month. I really need to watch it again.
That's a.
It's a strange movie, but it's good. I loved it.
Have you seen? I think it's called like Man Bites Dog, where it's like
I think I like have heard of that.
it's like
Is that a
they
comedy
follow.
sketch show?
No. It's a movie. I want to say it's Italian or French, and it's all subtitled. And the camera crew is following this guy, and he's portraying a hitman, and I guess like his parents are in it, and they had no idea what was going on, and like hella people were in it and had no idea what was happening, and like
Oh,
it's
so it was
just
like real
like
gonzo filmmaking
and
kind of stuff.
yeah, and it's like it's all black and white, and
That
yeah,
sounds
it's
good as
just
hell. I'm gonna write this down actually.
I
Man
think there's
bites
like a
dog.
Criterion collection version of it because it's just so fucking weird. And the first and last time I've seen it, I was like high and drunk at a party, and I was like,
Yeah.
"What the fuck is this?" And they're like, "Oh, this guy's a serial killer." Those are his parents, and I think they thought it was a real thing. Like they were watching a documentary,
Oh,
and
so
I
it's
was
kind of like a
like,
Blair Witch effect or something.
"Yeah," and I was like,
Man, I
"Hmm."
remember watching Blair Witch when and I was like, dude, man, that shit was real.
Remember,
That was
everybody thought it
real
was
found
real.
footage. There's a fucking witch in the woods in Maryland.
Yeah, and then they were like,
Um,
"Oh, they,
Now it's skinwalkers. Now they say the Appalachian. You know, I get hit with like reels of like, and don't go outside at night in Appalachia. You know, you hear your name called out there, don't ever go towards it. You hear some whistling, don't ever whistle back. Oh, dude, I'm 100% a believer in all that spooky shit now. I'm old enough to be like, I don't give a fuck what anybody thinks. Like I'm 100% ghosts are real, demons are real. I'm scared of
wrestling's
them.
real.
Yeah, well, to an extent,
It's
wrestling is
still
real,
real
man.
to me, damn it.
Those guys get fucked up, man.
Oh, I know. Like that's how I
That
felt
shit is real.
after my neck. It's like an injury that wrestlers have when they say they break their neck. It's like exactly what I
Yeah.
had, and I was like, I came out and I was like, "Am I cool like Stone Cold Steve Austin now?"
Yeah, give me a couple brews.
Yeah, just in the hospital bed, smashing them together.
Yelling at the nurses.
That's the
Put it
bottom
in
line.
my IV.
I couldn't even talk. Like it was like, oh, everything's so fucked up. But
Yeah.
yeah. So what do you have coming up now after you've done the Augusta Golf Masters Tournament convention?
Yeah, so I was, I got this weekend. I'm doing a small press fair in Athens, the Athens Book Fair, which I heard about. I did a small press fair back in March called Fluke Athens, which was very good. I sold like almost all of my Alf comics there. Um, so yeah, I'm looking forward to that. I only got a half table, so I don't have to bring a ton of shit with me. It's only like 2.5 hours away from me, so I can make it an easy day trip. Um, so I'm prepping for that. I just printed like 30 more copies of Alf, and I made a new zine, which I have right here actually. Let me just fold this thing up of figure drawing studies I've done. I just I try to digitize them when I'm done there. Which
Huh.
direction?
You've already
So
made
yeah, just
another
a little.
fucking book.
Yeah, dude. Well, I mean, that's the thing. It's like I got so much like just like kind of throwaway stuff. There's a museum here that does life drawing sessions twice a month for like $15 a pop. So I try to go to those as much as possible. I haven't done it in actually quite a while now. I need to go back. But I save all those drawings and they just like wind up like, on my fucking shelf doing nothing.
Oh yeah.
But I also scan them just, for record keeping, I guess, or in case the originals get destroyed. But for stuff like this, if I'm doing a small press fair where people like art books and stuff, well, I got fucking 20 pages of figure drawings, gestures and fountain pen, some I mean, I'll show you. I got, just kind of formatted it like, I don't know if you could see it
Yeah.
too
Yeah.
well. Just gestures at the beginning. I tried to fit like a whole bunch of them like on a single page. And then it gets into like some dry brush stuff. Um, Let me find a good one. Oh, probably can't share this one on YouTube because there's a puse on it. Um,
Our channel gets
Here's
canceled
one.
on the fourth video. Oh,
Yeah, well, it's art, dude. It's not pornography. It's art.
I mean,
I'm not going in there to like be pornographic or anything.
I've
And then I
just
go
never
into
done
like
figure drawing because it's hard to sit there with an erection.
ink washes, and then closed it with a little David Hockney quote. Rest in peace, David Hockney. Says the teaching of drawing is the teaching of looking. And then I had done this drawing of myself in crow pose a couple years ago, so I figured it was a perfect author photo for a figure drawing
What
zine.
what pose?
Crow pose. Do you do yoga at all?
No.
Man, I wear all kinds of hats, man. I don't know what to tell you, but yeah, I did a lot of yoga for a few years. And I got pretty okay at it. I mean, it mostly helped me with like I got some like muscular issues and like some chronic pain issues. So it helped a lot with that. But it also helped like, oh, I didn't know I could just like balance on my hands like that. That's kind of cool.
Yeah, I
So
have no way I could fucking do that. Especially now, like one arm doesn't work as well. But
oh yeah,
yeah, I did
it's
like a couple of like every now and then like my sciatica acted up and I'll turn on YouTube and do yoga with Adrian where it's like couple of
yes,
stretches and then
yes.
I'm like, okay, now my back feels better. But like all the handstand shit, like I
Nah, I mean
I can't
like
get my fat ass up
all
on my
that
hands.
stuff's kind of tertiary, and I'll be honest, like that what I was started it for was just I needed the mobility and just like the kind of being able to support my own weight. And I mean it's a really great, like if you can find a good class, not that I'm telling you to do it, but for me
No,
I found a class
I'm gonna
that
fly out
was
to you and we're gonna do it together. Do
yeah, you can, I mean
tandem
the yoga
yoga.
studio is great. Yeah, no, for real. I take a yoga class with you. I haven't done it in a little bit. I started going to the community center gym. I switched it up. But no, it was really great because it like really combines like strength training and like cardio and like breath work like all in the one thing. So like it can get pretty exhausting, but I always felt better afterwards. Like it really, like I'd be
Yeah.
like 2 inches taller when I left the class. Um, but yeah, I mean, I don't know. Again, like you said, it's you try a whole bunch of shit that works and it works for a little bit, and then until it doesn't, and then you just pick up the
Drugs.
pieces and try something else. And now I work out with old folks at the community center until
Yeah,
that won't
I
work
would
anymore.
definitely
We'll see
have
how that
to
goes.
go with old people. That way I look like I was in some kind of shape while the
Yeah,
gray skeletons around me are like barely able to touch their toes.
yeah. Well, I'll tell you what, man. Some of those guys got better. Like, there's this one dude that goes to the gym there. He's got to be like 65 years old. He's got fucking huge biceps, man. I'm like tempted to be like, yo, can you like look at my form and tell me if I'm doing something wrong? You know what I'm
Can
saying?
you
But
support
I
me,
don't want to.
bro?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I don't want to like bother anybody there, but it is definitely more my speed. Like I couldn't go to like a 24-hour fitness, or I tried working out at the when I worked at the university here for a little bit. I tried working out at their facilities, and it's just like there's so many students there, and
And
it's
they're
just
all in
too cool.
shape and look great.
Yeah, and
And
they're all like cool as shit, and I'm like showing up in an Akira shirt, like fat as fuck, you know. And I'm like, yeah, I'll do this for like 5 minutes, and I'm like, I'm good.
yeah,
But
ugh.
it's also like not busy there at all. Like every time I go, there's like no more than like 5 people, and most of the equipment's open. So, and then the amount of money it costs is like nothing. It's like 120 for like the entire year,
Oh, that's nice. Yeah, the
and I can use the basketball courts if I want to.
the Walmart around
I
the
got
corner
I
from
got
me.
a good jump shot. I don't know if you know that about me too. I got a pretty good fucking jump shot. I'm not even joking, dude.
Yeah.
I got good form.
Oh God, you're like a Rick Barry.
Dude, I'll try anything once. Maybe not anything, but
And with that, we're gonna go ahead and end this.
all right, let me take my shirt off. No, I'm just kidding.
All right. So, where can people find you online and all that?
Um, you can find me. My website is www.schoon.art. I haven't updated it in a bit. My Instagram is at schoon period art SCHOON period ART. My YouTube's doing pretty well, so check me out on there. That's also, well, it's schoon.art, but SCHOONDOTART because they don't let you put a period in there. But everything's like you can find all my links on my website too. So even if you just remember www, everything's schoon.art. I try to keep it all the same.
All right. Well, yeah, I think we did it. You can go on to here and check out his stuff, and that's where to find him. And what the hell just happened? There we go.
There we go.
Yeah, dude, it was great talking with you. I hope we can do this again.
Yeah,
Maybe
I'd
when
love
Frank's
to.
back. But I had to get something in because I'm going back to work next Wednesday. So my schedule is going to be Saturday and Sunday availability only. So I wanted to
Well,
get
we'll
a
figure something out. I'd love to get together with both of you guys. I'll have to just like I mean I can always close my door. My kids' bedrooms are like right down the hall there, so I just got to make sure I don't talk so loud is the only thing. Which
get
sometimes I
real.
can't help.
I
I get
have to get
excited.
real close in ASMR.
Yeah, yeah, I'll whisper into the microphone and all you can hear all the saliva in my mouth like it's NPR.
Yeah, just like that. Like dogs do, like for no reason.
Yep. All the mouth noises I can make them.
Oh God.
I'll guck on your podcast.
Oh
I'll make the noises. I
no.
won't actually.
All right. We got to end this before we get fucking canceled. It was great talking to you. To the rest of
You
you
too,
guys,
Noir.
go fuck yourself. Goodbye.